Today we are back on Dune Awakening, building a base over the gaping depths of the rift in the Atreides style. This base is designed for 1 or 2 players with easy access to the northern reaches of Hagga Basin. The requirements are on screen now, and though I did build it at the rift, you can probably construct this almost anywhere. Let's get started. Start off with the foundations, and we're going to use the sub-thief trick here. Place your sub-thief down, then build a stack of foundations, climb up, delete the thief, and replace it. This will give you an extra bit of headroom, which is essential for this build, and I went 2 foundations high. After that, construct the base plate as shown in the blueprint. It's quite simple, a core 5x5 with a 1x3 strip of ceilings out over the rift. Place a tall door on the rear side and a set of stairs on either side of the door. We'll return to this in a moment. After that, use the large triangle wedges and large ramp pieces to build out a landing pad over the rift, filling in the ceilings as you go. The ramp pieces can be quite fiddly at first, but if you do the ceilings first, then it does make it a bit easier. Next, the walls. We're doing just 2 tiles of walls for the first floor. I used a mix of walls and windows as I quite like to have a lot of windows. Leave a 2x2 gap after the stairs for the pentashield shown in the blueprint, and opposite where the shield will be, use half walls and passageways to create large custom windows. On the section leading to the landing pad, build a large Atreides gate and then finish up the walls on the ground floor. With that step complete, close off the top floor with ceilings. Afterwards, build out a 2x3 of ceilings on the centre of either side with rounded corners. Do the same over the tall door at the back of the build as well, but this time a 1x3 with rounded corners, and connect it back to the first floor with a single ceiling strip. Support the overhanging segments underneath with columns as well. Back on the first floor, we're going to build up the walls. Again, you can use whatever order of walls and windows you want to. I like to use a lot of windows in my builds, but it's all down to personal preference. Keep everything open plan and build the walls a 1.5 tiles high over the side extensions and 3 tiles high over the core. For the overhang at the rear of the build over the door, place another tall door and leave that as a balcony. Build a set of 180-degree stairs either side of the tall door over the stairs from the ground floor with a total height of 3 tiles, then continue to build up the walls. Use wall triangles to merge the extensions into the core, then come up the stairs and close off the top floor with ceilings. Beneath the top of the large gate, use the wide ramp pieces to build another landing pad. Again, start off with ceilings and it just makes it much easier to place the ramps underneath. If you haven't already, fully close off the top floor with ceilings and bring the first floor walls up to 3 tiles high to close up that section. On the top floor, this is going to be our hangar. Use half walls and passageways on the rear and sides as we did on the ground floor to create custom windows, and fill the rest of the space with walls at a height of 2.5 tiles high. I also added inward floors in the corner to transition out of the square shape and into rounded corners, but this is personal preference, you can stick with square if you prefer. Use roof pieces to create a domed roof over the hangar. Use the rounded inward floors to transition to a circular shape on the second layer of roofs, and then finish it off in the centre with a rooftop cap. To finish off the hangar, build a 3x2 pentashield facing the landing pad. Now for some details and finishing touches. On the first floor, fill this rear strip over the tall door with railing gates and roof covers to create a nice open air window, then just build simple roofs over the extension segments to bring them into the core. On the thin balcony over the rear door, I chose to extend it to wrap around the front and the sides, adding railings and roofs over it. I think this looks a lot better than the original 1x3 balcony. To make everything nice and smooth, go back to the extension roofs where the balcony roof will end up, add a roof cover and an angled roof to merge the flow of both roofs together, resulting in a seamless balcony transition. On the ground floor, add the 2x2 pentashield on the blueprint on the right side of the build for ground vehicle access. Finally, use roof covers to add detailing underneath the rear balcony and side extensions, and then the same on the landing pad to create decorative plinths. Finally, with the build complete, we end up with a spacious yet impressive base hanging over the rift. Landing our ornithopter in the hangar, we have incredibly easy access of course to the rift below, alongside tons of space on the interior. The light interactions here are pretty great too. I've included a lot of lights to try and brighten things up as much as possible, and I do have lumen toggled on, which helps massively. If you have access to the large chome overhead lights, they'll also work a real treat in this design. The front balcony is probably one of my favourite parts of the build. Anyone who's watched my builds in Conan Exiles knows that I'm just a sucker for balconies, and the wraparound here just really fits quite well. The ground floor ends up being quite a nice, spacious garage and work area, plenty of room for both a sandbike and a buggy, with, of course, access to the landing pad at the front, overlooking the depths of the rift. This build is in a pretty fantastic spot. I chose to build it just over near the wreck of the Catheria, so you have easy access to that spot, and the nearby mineral extraction facilities too. You could easily construct this over any other part of the rift though. Going further northwest towards the shield wall entrance would give you much easier access to that biome, which is something to consider for late game players. The best part is that we haven't actually used any staking units for this base, so it is incredibly cheap on the tax front. If you need to expand in the future, it's easy to do so with relatively clean siding. The one thing I would maybe change in retrospect would be the hangar roof. You do have to tuck the nose of your ornithopter just a touch when you're leaving, so you could swap the centre of the roof for another pentashield to make vertical landing and takeoff much easier. That small nitpick aside, I'm pretty happy with this base. I'm still getting to grips with Dune Awakening's build system, but I think it's turned out quite well. Anyway, that will about wrap us up for today. Thank you for watching, let me know what you think of this build, and if you have any requests or suggestions for future builds, please do drop them in the comments. A massive thanks to our wonderful esteemed coffee cultists for continuing to support the channel over on Patreon. Do check out the Patreon page through the link in the description. There's early access to videos, wallpapers, video credits, and much more, and joining us helps the channel out massively. Take care, and I'll see you soon.